last time we were out, we talked with Anna, and they had some major fuel issues and it prevented them from getting into the main. So Anna, you're relatively new to the midget. How does it feel in comparison to your go-kart?
Wow, completely different. You got a completely different line you got to run. The grip is different. I'm used to running dirt, so we run sideways. Here we're not running sideways at all.
Okay. Now in your second practice out there a couple of times, you got several cars came around you, a couple caught you and maybe surprised you a little bit. Did they, or were you comfortable?
I was comfortable, and then as soon as they got around me, I followed their line and seemed to catch right back up.
Okay, very good. Well, you have a great run tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, race fans, we're here with Gary Gustafson. Gary, how did you get involved with racing and especially midgets?
Yeah, well, I raced years ago as a kid, motorcycles, and then Pro 4 cars, modifieds, and then had about a 20-year break with kids and business, and always wanted to race midgets. And so this year we're back racing, and we're racing midgets.
All right. Now, are you the owner of the car? Or
yep, owner
like,
and driver, yep.
Okay, so what in the world possessed you to buy a midget?
Yeah, well, I multiple things, but one was I always wanted to race one years ago and just never got the chance to do it. So when we're getting back in now, seemed like a good idea to go with midgets.
All right, Gary. Well, how long have you been running with the WMRA?
This season.
This is your first season. Okay, very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, are you having fun?
We're having a great time, yep.
Is it what you expected?
It is, that and more, yep.
Very good, Gary. All right, you have a great run tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
You bet, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, race fans, we're here with Cody Burns. He drives one of the WMRA midgets. Cody, how did you get into this?
My grandpa started, actually. He raced super modifieds back in the day, and so, when my brothers and I were growing up, he's like, you gotta get him into a race car. And so we started in quarter midgets. I did quarter midgets from 10 to 15 up at Alpenrose Dairy, and that's where I got my start. And then, my brother's 12 years older, so right about the time I started quarter midgets, he had started doing the midget because he did quarter midgets before me, and finally it's my turn in the car. First race out, so.
This is your first race out?
First race out.
Okay, is it your first time driving the midget?
That practice was my second time driving the car without any tuning issues or, at full power, so pretty happy with the way it went, getting a feel for it. It's definitely a change for sure.
Right, so you're looking forward to tonight's main?
I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's everybody's like, oh, aren't you scared? I'm like, nope. I'm most at peace in the car on the track.
Right, very good.
One place that all the worries in the world melt away.
Yeah, well, there was 20 years ago, I think Spence, I forgot his last name. Anyway, he won the WMRA Midget Championship, and his father built the car and crewed the car. And his father was just the opposite. He got in the car and he would just get terribly nauseated until he got a lap or two in.
Yeah.
So it can work either way on the nerves.
Oh yeah. No, some people, while the belts are getting tightened, they just keep getting more and more wound up. And that's, for me, if I'm in the lineup for too long, I'll start nodding off because I'm so comfortable. And that's just where it is for me. That's my home. I can't wait to be in the car again.
Very good, young man. Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
You bet.
Yep.
All right, race fans, we're here with Kenny Wood. Kenny, 20 years ago, you raced a midget. You and was it your father or brother?
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Okay, you each had your own cars, and you raced with the WMRA for quite a while, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep, started in 1990.
Oh my goodness! And now you're a car owner.
Yes.
Okay.
And I still drive. I drove up until last year, so.
Oh, did you?
I still do drive.
Oh, great. Now, how many cars do you have here tonight?
I have three. I have two that I own, and then one that were borrowed for the 2 years.
Okay. And what's it like being the owner and the crew chief on the cars versus driving?
It's horrible.
Okay.
I haven't even sat down at any race yet this year.
Yeah. Okay. Keeps you pretty busy.
It's fun though.
Okay. Now, I believe you're alternating drivers. Is this correct?
Yeah. So this car I own, and that's my daughter's little brother drives this one, This one we borrowed. It's on loan from Alan Dixon, and that's my daughter's boyfriend driving that one. And then this is Zach. He's driving the 19 car that I own, and he's sharing it with another one of our friends.
Oh,
year.
okay, but he's not connected with your daughter.
They're friends from school.
Friends from school.
So it is a one big connection.
She was a bridesmaid at the wedding.
And a bridesmaid at his wedding.
All right, okay.
So it is all family.
I see. Okay, very good. So the daughter's kind of got the connection here for all your drivers.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, you're looking forward to the main?
Oh yeah, we're having fun.
Okay. Now, when you're watching the main and watching your cars on the track racing, are you nervous at all?
No, they're good enough. I don't really have to worry about them. I'm so used to it. If they crash them, they crash them.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We know we'll fix them and be out the next week.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, race fans. We're here with Rob Lindsay, and Rob, 20 years ago, you were racing your own midget in the WMRA, and you were also active on the board at that time. How long did you race with the WMRA?
I think our last year was 2007.
Okay, 2007.
Yeah.
And then you left, and then you went to the 360 sprint cars on dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And you ran that for quite a while, and now you're back as head of the WMRA. How did that all come about?
Well, there's a bunch of us that were kind of back in the day, including the tire that I'm sitting on, the guy that was running back with us, Rick Kraft. We kind of all got together and decided we didn't want to see this club go away. It's a long-standing club, been here for a number of years, and pavement midgets in general have been struggling over the years and have virtually gone away. But I think there's a resurgence, and definitely with our club. I mean, just in 1 year, we've doubled the size of the club. Matter of fact, there's probably a handful of cars right now that we can count that are not here due to some engine problems. So we've gone from 6 to 7 cars to 12 to 18, depending on the commitments that people have over the weekend. So there's definitely a resurgence that's happening, and we're excited. The tracks and the promoters that we're going to are really excited, and hopefully we just build on what we have going on for next year.
Well, Rob, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the WMRA is possibly the longest continuously running association in the country.
Yeah, I think it is, and I want to also put in there that Glenn Seidelman, who him and his son Tony have pretty much been running the club probably for the last 15 years, and have literally kept this club going in existence. In a time when expenses have gone through the roof, gasoline prices to get to the tracks has gone through the roof. They have managed to keep this club going, and there's a lot of credit due to both of them for keeping us alive. And Tony Seidelman is part of our board still this year, and so he's a big part of what we're doing this year and what we're going to be doing for the future.
All right, now a little bit on yourself. You bought a car, you have a brand new car, you were going to race it, and you had an incident in the 360 sprint car, and unfortunately you haven't been able to race this year.
Yeah, unfortunately the new car that we put together, I got to practice in it a few times before the season got started. Everything was great, and ended up going down to a race in Placerville to run a non-wing car down there, and just ended up getting in an accident that broke my collarbone and a couple ribs. And really the only thing that's keeping me out of a car right now is my eyesight hasn't fully come back on my right eye. So it's close, but not there yet. But like you say, the car that we had, we put another driver in it. The first 2 races of the season, Pat Bliss, who is another longtime WMRA member, who raced with us back in the day. And we ended up having a valve problem, a broken valve that kind of sidelined us at State Line Speedway a few weeks ago. So unfortunately, I think that is going to take us out for this year. We're not going to rush to try to get it fixed and get back out here. We're just going to, those involved with the car Skeeter Flake with 71 Racing really owns the car, and we decided to kind of shelf that one, continue to try to help the club and run the club, and build the club, and then next year we'll bring it back out.
So, in wrapping up here, what would be your advisement to anyone who wanted to join the club and start racing with you guys?
Well, again, I think it's one of the fastest growing clubs all of a sudden around. You don't see too many clubs, dirt or pavement, actually increasing car count, and we are doing that. And we're doing that, we're kind of thinking outside of the box. We've started a new division within the normal WMRA division called the regional division. So we're calling our normal cars the national division, and then we have the regional division. And the regional division are Ford Focus based motors with wide body chassis. We already have a Focus division here in the Northwest, a very successful one, and we're not competing with them. They are a narrow body chassis requirement that pretty much you could run on both dirt and pavement. But these cars that we're doing on our regional side are wide bodies, basically the same identical car with just a Focus in it. So if you're looking to get in pavement racing and you want to, you're looking at running a midget, this regional division is going to be huge for those that have no midget experience. It's a chance to kind of work up into the national division and gain speed as you go. And the Focus cars get around really good. We actually run both divisions together on the track at the same time. We start the actual regional cars in the main events up front, put the national cars behind them. So there's a lot of competition going on throughout the field, whether it's national competing against national or regional against regional. So it's a lot of fun for spectators to watch because they see a lot of passing, and it's a lot of fun for the drivers, whether they're in the national division or the regional division.
All right, Rob. Well, good luck for the remainder of this season and on the growth for next season.
Thank you.
You bet. WMRA midget. Garrett, you were running second when unfortunately Tony Seidelman clipped the rear of the car that was in front of him and had a pretty ferocious impact into the tires. What did you see?
So I saw what looked like a lapper. We were kind of getting into some really good lap traffic. And Tony was trying to work this lapper on the outside, but unfortunately the lapper was trying to get off the track, so they kind of came together and it looked like they hopped tires. Tony got a little airborne and then hit right into a Uke tire. I didn't see the rest of it, but then when I come back around, I saw his car was up on his lid, and yeah, it's just unfortunate. The lappers are there. You know, it just sometimes happens that way.
Right, unfortunately it does. I've heard that he's talking, he's alert, and the signs are good at this point for him.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we'll know more.
Sure.
Now, did you feel that you had the race continued, that you had anything for Tony?
I don't believe so. He got out front quick, and I could pace with him, but if I got to his bumper, we were running some pretty fast pace. I don't think I would have been able to do anything. I think I would have run second behind him.
Okay, so then on the restart, it looked like to me that you had your hands full holding off the second and third place cars.
Yeah, they've got some pretty big motors. They've got about 20 more cubic inch than I got a 166. They got like 181s and stuff like that. So we're a little bit down on horsepower. So my goal is to get out front and just try and stay there and run in high. And so I knew I had a chance of winning just because he showed me his moves on the outside a couple times before during the main event. And I knew I could stay there. So I just kind of moved down about a half groove and protected the bottom on entry, and then just knew that if he got to my outside that I would be able to hold it.
All right, young man. Well, a good win for you. A good drive, especially in that last 12 to 15 laps. And congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You.